the name of Almighty God, Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the one God to whom praise is forever due, the sender of all prophets and messengers, from Abraham to Moses to Jesus, to Muhammad of 1400 years ago. We thank Almighty God, Allah, for his coming in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. And we thank him for raising up from us black people here in America, his messenger, his Messiah, a black man that many of us know and some don't, but are learning to know. I'm speaking of our beautiful brother from Georgia, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And in the name of the top student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a brother that is a divine warner, teacher, guide, that shows what love looks like. I'm speaking of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It's in their names that I greet you in peace, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. All brothers and sisters, give yourselves a round of applause for being here this morning. Give yourselves a round of applause. We thank you for being here. We're glad to have you with us this morning. And I just want to take a moment as the student minister of Muhammad Mosque number 36 here in Charlotte. I want to thank the brothers that shared some words before I came up. Can we give Brother Jonathan and Brother Sabir a round of applause if you would? Many of you are here for your first time. Never been to a Muhammad Mosque before, but just take a minute, and this is not our mosque, this is the location we're meeting in today, but take a minute and look around and know that you may have signed in as a guest, you may have signed in as a visitor, but you are absolutely right at home amongst your people. Give yourself again a round of applause for being here. I know that we came to hear a very powerful subject today. Is that right, brothers and sisters? Yes, from our brother that is going to deliver a beautiful subject. And I just want to share something with you. You know, when I think about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and all the work and how beautiful our brother is, and he has been working for over 60 years for black people. He's been a father to many of us that perhaps didn't grow up with a father. Is that right? Yes, he's been that big uncle to many that may not have had that. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a man that not only stands up and delivers truth to power, but he's producing those that when they hear the word hearing it, it puts courage in your heart. Is that right, brothers and sisters? Yes, sir. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has produced many brothers and sisters that are a part of the ministry that are out sharing this beautiful life-giving teaching of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Why do we say life-giving? Because we can be alive in breathing, we can be alive in seeing, but there's not true sight until we have the word of God in our mind. It helps take away from our eyes the scales of darkness. Is that right, brothers and sisters? And so as you come and hear more today, and hear more on a very timely subject that our brother is going to deliver with us, I just want to tell you that we were blessed to go to a school on Friday in one of the elementary schools, and our brother talked to fifth graders there, and when it was over with, all the beautiful little, something about our youth, you know, that is our future. Yes. And by the time we were finished, the young people loved the word that they heard, and they just wanted to get a chance to be around our brother that's going to be speaking today. And then we also shared in a radio interview yesterday. Some of you may have seen the radio interview that our brother was on here in the Charlotte area. And the radio interview was dealing with some of the subject matter we're going to hear today. And then I was blessed, as some of you may know, there's a all-black national convention happening in Charlotte right now that Dr. Boyce Watkins is hosting. And our brother received a Freedom Award at that event last night. Praise. Yes, that deserves a round of applause. The next voice that you're going to be hearing will be our brother's voice, as they are on the way and will be here any moment now. But I'm going to tell you, when I saw that subject matter, how to love a black man and how to love a black woman, we need that kind of love in our community today. Can we agree, brothers and sisters? We need that kind of teaching that's going to help black man, help empower the black woman, help us fix our fractured family situation. And so as we prepare our minds to be able to hear, I learned a long time ago that, what we hear is referred to as everything we learn, it comes through the five senses. What we see with our eyes, is that right?
Yes, sir.
What we hear, what we touch, what we smell, what we feel. This is the way that the brain takes in information. Look at the word in. What we take in, it kind of forms us. And this world has not formed us into being that which with Almighty God would want us to be. Can I get a witness there?
Yes, sir.
And so this is why it's so important that when we hear the teachings, the scripture says that in the beginning was the word, because there's something about when you hear the word and I hear the word and we hear the word and we act on the word. It's the word that goes into us and edifies us and feeds us. Can we agree?
Yes, sir.
So I know you all are looking forward to hearing from our brother that's going to share this morning as well. Now let me just tell you, he's had the opportunity to speak in many different cities. He's had the opportunity to share the life-giving teachings not only here, but in other different parts of the country. Our brother is an accomplished author, and when it's over with, you're going to want to make sure you have what he has to be able to get the books that he's going to be sharing. But I don't want to delay any further. As I was talking about the mighty student ministers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan has produced flamethrowers.
That's right.
And this brother right here is one of the flamethrowers.
Yes, sir.
One of the student ministers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You've seen him on Revolt. You've seen him on Vlad TV. You've probably seen him on Breakfast Club. You've seen him in different places sharing this life-giving teaching. I want to introduce to some and present to others our brother, student minister from Muhammad Mosque, number 74 in Indianapolis. Let's give brother Nuri Muhammad. Let's give our brother. Give it up for our brother
Nuri. Thank you most. All praise is due to Allah. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad most certainly is his messenger. We are eternally grateful to Almighty God, Allah, for his merciful intervention in our affairs in the person of a well-made man named Master Farrakhan Muhammad. We thank him for coming among us and raising up in our midst his messenger, Messiah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And we thank the two of them today for preparing one in our midst that is without a shadow of a doubt a divine leader, a divine teacher, and a divine guide for you and me. I'm speaking of that man that is the last man standing. He is the mouthpiece of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the trumpet of God. I'm talking about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. All praise to Allah. It is in their holy and righteous name, sisters and brothers, that I greet you in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Before I begin, I have to tell you this, that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan sends his love and greetings of Assalamu alaikum. We'll do just that. If anybody looking around at us thinking there was something wrong with us for what we just did, ain't nothing wrong with us, but there's something wrong with you if you had a problem with it. But last I checked, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, when that no good ham sandwich eating judge walks out, or one of these corrupt Congress people, or one of these surreptitious senators, hell, even when the president of the school board walks out, the bailiff in the corner tells everybody out of respect for them to all right. Then they have the audacity to say the honorable judge, far more honorable than any judge. Because a congressman or a senator has done nothing to save the black man and woman. But here you got a man that's been on the battlefield for us for over 65 years, teaching 7 generations of black people the knowledge of God, self, the time, and what must be done, and the devil, how to eat to live, how to be a good man, how to be a good woman. I'll be damned if we're going to stand for the judge and not stand for Farrakhan. I would have stood too. I just didn't know how to do it. Well, next time. Next man, I'm so happy to be here with the mighty Muslim Muhammad Miles number 36. It's such an honor to be here with you all. And the minister wanted me to tell you, Brother Corey, that he thanks Allah for you and for your hard work and sacrifice, and to thank all of the laborers and staff and his family that helped to keep the flag raised high right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's give to the minister Corey a round of applause. Let's give the laborers a round of applause. Let's give the believers a round of applause. Thank you so much for putting on such a great event today. Oh, well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that if you have a subject, you should not beat around the bush and build up to it, just get to the subject.
Right.
Well, we soldiers, so we hear and we obey. I will say this before we go into this subject titled How to Love a Black Woman and How to Love a Black Man. Really two subjects in one lecture, but with the help of Allah, within the next 45 minutes, we're going to try to knock them both down. Someone asked a question, Brother Corey, when they seen the flyer that was produced. A brother said, why do you always put love a black woman first? Why not love a black man?
Talk about it.
Teeth.
I don't know the brother, but I'm willing to step out there and say he probably has problems in relationships. I'm not sure who he is and if he's here, but I'm sure he has some problems in relationships. Why when we put black woman love and before black man love, it's because the most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. He said that civilization is not judged by the military, the money, nor by the men, but civilization, so teaches the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, is judged by the woman. He said that whenever you teach a man, you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. He said that the woman or the mother is the first nurse, the first teacher, the first doctor, and the minister said it like this: Mama is God in baby language.
That's right.
Sisters, I thought y'all would be clapping a little bit better. It's going to be some stuff I'm going to say during the lecture that if you had said it, it'd have started problems for you at the house. But see, I'm saying so when I say it, it's going to hit that black man's brain. But you have access to something I call the ricochet effect. If you say, that's right, go ahead, amen, hallelujah, clap. If you do some form of bearing witness, it hits him again. And by doubling up from your bearing witness for the message, it doubles the absorption capacity of the subconscious mind. But it's Take two. Take two, cameraman. Take two.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Go ahead. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that when you teach a man, you teach an individual.
Right.
But when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. That still was kind of weak. Y'all, okay, all right, y'all, watch this. Y'all ready for this one? We on a fast break. I'm gonna put it right by the rim. You just got done. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said there is no such thing as a no good woman. Any no good woman was made that way by a no good man. We got about five smart brothers that's doing the clap. Truth is the truth. The truth is not gender specific. The truth is the truth. And the reality is that we have to put the black woman first when it comes to love, because she has a track record of loving us better than we have been loving her. Am I telling the truth? out of 4 of adult black women are actually married. 2/3 of all of our homes are run by a single black woman that lives below the poverty line. In this system of economics, the black man is the last hired and the first fired.
Right.
But in the system of family building, the black woman is the last married and the first divorced. Something's wrong with that kind of mathematics. Why? Because the minister said it like this: where there are no strong marriages, you can't have strong families. And where there are no strong families, you cannot have a strong community. And where there are no strong communities, you cannot have a strong nation. He said that marriage is the cornerstone.
Go ahead.
Cornerstone is even deeper than foundation. Because before the foundation is built to support the structure, there has to be a cornerstone established. The cornerstone doesn't just support the house, it supports the foundation that supports the house. So if we have a plague of black marriages that are not sticking together, staying together, or even trying to get together, then we have the cornerstone of our nation so weak that we cannot afford to put businesses on top of it.
Right.
If we build business and the marriages are weak, the businesses will crumble.
Right.
If we build schools and put them on top of the foundation, the cornerstone is too weak, the schools won't remain open.
Right.
Whatever we open up in the line of industry or nation building, if the cornerstone is weak, it cannot be supported. So before we start talking about trucking and real estate and building businesses and storefronts and apartment buildings and communities, we've got to start talking about building the black marriage back up. So the cornerstone of the nation is all praise be to Allah. We had to put the black woman first, because whenever the black man does his part by the black woman will automatically do her part by the black man. Well, y'all don't even want y'all. No, come on, man. Already under enough scrutiny, I ain't gonna agree with nothing.
Jeez, brother.
Somebody said we need some more evidence. Well, I got something for you. Thus saith the Lord. I know whenever most people say thus saith the Lord, you think that they get ready to quote a regular Bible verse. Well, that is thus saith the Lord, but I want to suggest to you that God has raised a man in our midst today. That is just as much a messenger of God as Solomon, Job, or Jonah that you read about in your Bible.
Right.
In fact, if you are willing to listen to Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, or Paul, you better be willing to listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable
Right.
These are the divine beings in this dispensation of time for you and me.
That's right.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this: nature has placed in a woman a demand from man, and nature has placed in a man a demand from the woman. Nature. Her demand has to be met before our demand can be met by her.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Say it. Say it.
Jeez, brother.
Carry this, sir. We gonna do another take here. I ain't doing this no more now. Y'all got to ride with me now. Yes, sir. All right, take 3. Ready. Her demand has to be met before our demand can be met by her. Now, brothers, it's a reason why in the ideal system of mate selection and marriage, step 1, before we were kidnapped and Caucasianized and Westernized by the white man, no man went to a woman and just asked her for her hand.
That's right.
In the original order of our ancestors that was rooted in the principles of divine, a man went to her father first. And asked permission.
That's right.
To even ask if you interested in me.
Right.
And you see, brothers, have you ever watched The Godfather?
Yes, sir.
You remember when Michael Corleone was interested in the, I can't remember her name, but the one that ended up becoming his wife?
Yes, sir.
And they were in Sicily? The first wife.
Yes, sir. Right.
When they were in Sicily and he was interested in her?
Yes, sir.
What did he do? He went to her father.
That's right.
Knocked on the door and asked her father for permission to even talk to his daughter.
Right.
Then after he got permission to talk to his daughter, he was walking, and the camera showed them walking through the desert, walking by the sand.
Yes, sir.
And they showed a picture of them, and then they panned the camera up, and behind them was about 18 men.
Right.
Walking about 30 paces behind.
Right.
That was Uncle Bobby and Cousin Ricky. The whole family was there making sure didn't nothing go on.
Right.
See, that's the way civilized people do it.
Come on, teach it.
And then after the introduction is met, and you make a decision that I want to spend the rest of my life with her, she doesn't propose to us. We propose to her.
Right.
We get down on one knee. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And we ask for her hand in marriage.
Yes.
Right.
Is that right?
Right.
And when the time comes for the wedding, and she as a bride is coming down the bridal path, who's walking her down the aisle?
Oh,
The father.
that's right.
And the father is walking her down the aisle. And when we perform a wedding as a minister, listen to what we ask the father.
Come
Are
on.
you prepared to
Right.
give your daughter's hand to him in marriage? And if he says yes, she gives her hand to him, and then the father sits down. What's being said? Come on. I, as your father, have been your maintainer. I, as your father, have been your protector and your provider. I have been the primary man in your life all the way up to this point. But I'm turning you now over to this man, and I'm going to sit down. So when that hand is given to that man by the father, then the father and the community that's watching has an expectation that we're going to maintain, protect, and provide for her. So when possible, you can do it.
Right.
All praise be to the Lord. So we are the initiators.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, if we are the ones that ask the father, if we are the ones that ask for the hand in marriage, if we are the ones that get down on one knee, then we should also be the first to meet the demands.
Yes, sir.
All right, brothers, y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
The minister goes on to say, you cannot expect a woman to give you what you demand if you in the first place don't give her what her nature demands.
Yes.
Come on. Teach it.
And I'm going to say this to the brothers. When a man is in love with a woman, her needs become his goals. Did you hear me, brother? Now, there's a brother that lives down the street from here. About an hour and some change. I don't know if he made it here or not. I don't see him. But he misinterpreted that statement. And he sent me some pictures. He had just got married and they was sneaking up on their 1 year anniversary, and he sent me a picture of a grand piano, a brand new house built from the ground up, a female presidential Rolex. I'm willing to do the math and say when they got finished calculating all of that he was close to $1 million. And he said, brother, you said, look at what I'm doing. I said, oh, brother. No, he said, you said when a man is in love with a woman, her wants become his goals. I said, no, I said needs.
Right.
I said needs.
Right.
He said, oh.
Right. Come on. Teach me.
He said, I've been telling my wife once, and she hasn't disagreed yet. I said, I bet she hasn't.
Come on.
Needs. Now, when you get to a certain level of development, in your gratitude, appreciation, and love for your woman, then her wants will become your goal.
That's right.
See, a real man and a real woman that's in a real healthy relationship, they're not scorekeepers. That's right. To what each person's duty are and how many points you put on the board.
Come on. Teach that.
A real wife is not sitting around waiting to see how much money you make and how many bills you pay and what size car we drive and how respectful you are before she's willing to cook and clean and do her job as a woman. And a real man doesn't hold his bank card hostage until he gets enough smooches and kisses and hugs from his woman.
Right.
A real man doesn't care how much loving he gets. He's going to do the part of being a man. And a real woman doesn't care how much money he gives her. She's going to do her part of being a woman. See, when you got real love, you don't compete with each other keeping score of what somebody else is doing. You compete with each other to see who can out-honor and out-love the other.
That's right.
Let me give you an example. There was a poor family in Mali in the ancient days, and the woman had very, very long hair that came all the way to the floor. And she desired to get a comb that could help manage the health of her hair. But the comb was very expensive in that time. So when her husband came home from work, she went to her husband and said, baby, I would like to take care of my hair better, and there's a comb, and it costs X, Y, and Z. And he said, honey, right now, I can't afford it. My watch just broke. And I need this watch in order for me to get to work and perform my job on the job. So I can't do it right now. The man woke up the next day and went to work. Finished work and was walking past, looking at his broke watch, and said, you know what? Instead of repairing it, I'm going to go sell it. He went, sold the watch, bought the comb for his wife, rushed home and ran in the house to greet his wife to say, I sold the watch, but here's the comb you want. When he yelled out her name, she came from behind the wall and her hair was cut all the way off. And he said, baby, I bought you the comb. What happened? She said, I cut all of my hair off and I sold it to get you a new watch. See, that's what real love looks like. Compete with one another to show how much you love the other one over yourself.
Yes.
Y'all still all right?
Come on.
Her nature demands a man to maintain, to uplift, to help, to guide, to be a provider for and a protector of. And what you get in return for being a man is what God put in every woman. The consolation, the care, the love that makes a man willing to go out and work the field or fight the enemy just to come back home. Thank y'all for listening. I appreciate it. That's pretty much, that's enough. That's all you need right there.
Come on.
If the black family was not so important, the question we have to ask ourselves is, why has it always been under attack by our oppressors?
Teach, brother. Teach.
Good question. Whenever they first came to Africa to kidnap us and make us slaves, they put us on the slave ships, and the average height of each ceiling on the ship was about 8 inches tall. So each level had an 8-inch ceiling, and we were stacked shoulder to shoulder, head to foot, east to west, with no way to even raise up. But when the master put us on the ship, he separated the wives from the husbands and the children from the parents. Mothers on the slave ship would hear their babies crying for milk, but couldn't even get to their babies to feed their babies milk. Mothers and fathers had to listen to their babies take their last breath on the slave ship while they were only 5 feet away.
Think about that.
What were you doing, white man? I'm destroying the black family. Then when we got off the slave ship, they knew that they would not be able to take a proud, powerful, pious, and productive people and make a slave out of them, as long as they had access to the knowledge that they had whenever they were proud and powerful. That's right. So even though there were no books around, we still had our elders. We still had our fathers, mothers, and our grandparents. And without a book, if the parents and grandparents are allowed to live, they will continue to reinforce the value system we had in the motherland. That's right. So what did the slave master first do when we landed on the shores? Killed off all of the adults to tell itself, this is as high as I can jump. At a certain point, you can remove the plastic and the fleas will never jump out the jar. That's what happened to the flea. That's what happens to the elephant. That's what happens to the fish. And that's what happened to black people. We were raised that we believe that the only thing we can do is sing for white folks. Dance for white folks. Run a ball, catch a ball, dunk a ball. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Sell some dope. And at the end of the day, that's a piece of plastic.
Come on.
Over the jaw, our vertical is much higher than just entertaining white people.
That's right.
We can do anything we put our mind to.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all right?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
If you kill off the fathers and the mothers and the grandparents, that's an attack on the family.
Right.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
So attack on the slave ship, separating parents from the children, letting the babies die. Coming to America, being made a slave, killing off all the adults, sparing the young, destroying the family. Then after the children began to grow up on the plantation to become adults, if they ever were interested in the opposite sex, they made it illegal to marry.
That's right.
If it's illegal to marry, that's an attack on the black family. Then they never allowed us even to get to know one another enough where we could even fall in love with one another. They would find a stud from one plantation and a fertile woman from another plantation. No love, no affection, didn't even know each other. Stick them inside of where the horses lay and make them mate with one another.
That's right.
Now we're engaged in the act of procreation with no love for the man or the woman. That's an attack on the family.
Yes.
Right. All the time we've been here and interacting with our enemy, they've always attacked the family.
Yes, sir.
Common sense should tell us if they work this hard to destroy the family, then we are obligated to work harder to build up the black family.
Right. Yes, sir.
If we want to survive.
That's right. Come on.
Why do they work so hard? In 1798, when this man by the name of Napoleon was hired by the European rulers of the world to go into Africa and destroy any image of black excellence. Y'all heard of Napoleon before?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of something called the Sphinx?
Yes, sir.
That sits at the base of the Great Pyramid Giza?
Yes.
Right.
the last living wonder of the world.
Right.
For the record, it wasn't built by a white Jew. It was built by black people. And we built the pyramid Giza and made it 451 feet tall,
Right.
451 feet deep.
That's
It
right.
covers 13 and a half acres of land.
That's
and
right.
it's made of 1 million blocks of gold, granite, and marble. And each stone is stacked mathematically precise,
Teach
east
that.
to west, north to south, up in the air, down in the earth. And we built it without John Deere or Caterpillar.
Come on, with it. Teach
We
that,
built it
man.
without crane or bulldozers. We
That
use
part.
the power of telepathy and
Right.
mind over matter.
Come on.
And we manipulated stone with the force
Right.
and power of thought to make it be what it
That's
was.
right. Say that.
Yes,
When Napoleon came, and after going into all of the temples, destroying all of the images of black divinity and black greatness, he left the temples and came to Giza. First thing he encountered was a lion with the head of a black man on it.
Right.
right.
How do you know it was a black man on it? Because the only thing missing is the nose and the lips. And when you go to your history class in school, they'll tell you that the nose and the lips are missing from the Sphinx because of the weathering and natural corrosion. Well, the question we should ask as black people, well, why come the ears didn't corrode?
Right. Come
Why
on,
come
say
the
that.
claw didn't corrode? Why
That's
come
right.
the tail and the mane is still intact?
That's right. Come on.
It wasn't no
Teach.
weather that did that.
Teach.
Napoleon trained his cannon on that broad nose and those thick lips
Right.
that showed those African features.
Right.
Because he knew that one day we would learn that the lion was the king of the jungle.
That's right.
Wait a minute, if the lion is the king of the jungle, by way of social comparison, king of the jungle, my ancestors put my head on a lion.
Come on.
Maybe they're trying to suggest to me that I'm the king of the planet.
Come on.
And they knew
Right.
they couldn't make a slave
Right.
out of a black man.
Right.
They knew he was the king
Right.
of this planet. So he trained the cannon and blew the nose and the lips off. Then he went inside the pyramid and he noticed something. You ever heard the saying that behind every strong man is a strong woman? What he found is not behind but beside. Every strong man has always been a strong woman. So when he went into the pyramids and seen the images of the great African gods, he never found Osiris and Isis wasn't right next to him. He never seen Alafun and Ilida was not right next to him. He never seen Osai and his queen Aset was not right next to him. So Napoleon went inside and he had the soldiers scrape away all the images of the queens. So now when you go in the pyramid Giza, you'll see Osai, you'll see Alafun, you'll see Osiris, but you won't see their wives next to them. Why? Because our ancestors were trying to let us know that the real power base of black people is black family life. All praise to the Lord. There's 3 observations that we noticed when you seen these great gods on the walls. Number 1, there was no men with men.
That's right. Go ahead.
No men were with men. Every man was with a woman. Number 2, nobody was boyfriend and girlfriend in security.
It's all right.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it, Brother Coy. Go ahead. How you gonna be 53 years old talking about you got a boyfriend? How you gonna be 50 and talking about you got a girlfriend? When When you look up the word girl and boy in the dictionary, it is an underdeveloped, immature male or female. Well, what the hell are you doing as a grown woman or a grown man with an immature, underdeveloped counterpart? Boyfriend and girlfriend. Everybody was husband and wife. In fact, we did a word search on 2,000 different translations of the Bible, and we searched for the word girlfriend or boyfriend. We took 72 different translations of the Quran, and we searched the word boyfriend and girlfriend. And when we hit the enter button on all those translations of Bible and Quran, girlfriend and boyfriend had no results. That means that girlfriend and boyfriend is not in the language of God. The question is, whose language is it then? Husbands, wives. Number 3, we noticed not only were no men with men and everybody was with their queen and they were married, but there was no black man with a white woman. Oh, y'all, they get sensitive now. Get sensitive. I submit to you, brothers, that white women are a gateway drug. You know what a gateway drug is, right? It's a lesser drug that's less addictive. That when you start messing with it, it leads you to a worse drug that's more addictive. Smoking and drinking will end up having you blunted out, Xanax out, lean out, heroin and cocaine out at some point. So they consider cigarettes and alcohol to be a gateway drug. I submit to you that a white woman is a gateway drug to homosexuality. I know you don't want to agree with me. I don't care. Okay, y'all don't believe me? Watch this. Watch this. Sisters. Can't you tell when a black man is with a white woman? Yeah. Even if the white woman is not with him. Yeah. Now watch this. Tell me if I'm telling you know that a black man is with a white woman because he's a little more punctified. He's a little more soft. He's a weaker black man. So if you see your inner act, I'm going to submit to the ICD-9 book that deals with new disease. I'm submitting a new disease to the book called Beckery. What is Beckery? You know Becky from Beyonce's song. Becky with the good hair, white girl. I'm submitting. What is Beckery? Beckery is the emotional and mental castration of a black man as a direct result of a long-term relationship with a white woman. When you with a white woman for a long period of time, you become soft, you become weak, you become punctified. It takes a certain amount of strength to be with a black woman. It takes a certain amount of focus and strength to be with a black woman. All praise to you. My brother asked me the other day, he said, on the radio, he said, well, you say that y'all don't believe in interracial relationships. I understand all that, and you like it's a divine thing, and what's the consequences of a black man being with a white woman? I said the consequence of a black man being with a white woman is that you with a white woman. There's the consequence. See, when you have a husband or a wife, they're called your mate. You wouldn't go to the store to buy shoes and you find a red and black Jordan, size 8, and say, can you bring me those in a size 9? And they come back and bring you one Jordan size 9 and one pink Reebok size 5. You're going to say, it's not a mate.
That's right.
It's not a match.
That's right.
So if a husband or a wife is called a mate, and mates look like and are made up of the same material as the other thing that they are mates for, the only thing that looks like it is made of the same struggle that you came from, black man, is your beautiful black woman. is your natural mate. All praise be to the Lord. When you have a mate, you have someone in your life that is your soundboard. That you have to bounce ideas off of. That you have to bounce experiences off of. You have to bounce your problems and your tests and your trials and what you suffer in the vicissitudes of life living in America. Well, I'm going to tell you something, black men. The majority of the hell that you're going to catch is directly related to a white supremacist system that loves to tell you no everywhere you go. Well, how in the hell could you be out in a white man's world being beat up and abused by a white man's world and come and bounce that off of a white woman and think you're going to get the proper feedback? You need this beautiful black woman as your soundboard. You say, well, I just goes by my Bible. I goes by my Bible. I ain't seen nothing in the Bibles and nothing about that. Well, the problem is you've been going by your Bible. You need to go into your Bible. Because there's a story in the book of Samuel about a man named Samson and Delilah. Samson had locks. Meaning he's a black man. So strong that none of the armies could defeat them individually or all together. Is that right? Yes, sir. They kept sending warriors and the best groups of warriors, and Samson was taking them out. But they realized that no men, no groups of men will be able to defeat this man. So let us send Delilah to the man. Delilah was a Philistine woman. People from Philistine are Caucasian. So Samson couldn't be defeated by no groups of white men. So they sent the white woman to get him. And then 1 Samuel verse 8, it says that when Delilah came upon Samson, she wooed him. And Samson began to slumber with her. Y'all know what that means, right? And many days went by after Samson had slumbered with Delilah. And Delilah gave Samson her keys to her Ford Escort, her credit card, and bought him a new PlayStation and told him he never had to go back to work again. Samson beat her up and she did what? Now this is not the King James, this is the LeBron James translation. But y'all understand what I'm trying to say. He was weakened by a relationship. Now you know a haircut doesn't make you strong. Getting your hair cut off, matter of fact, you go to the barbershop, you feel like a superhero when you come out the barbershop. So somebody cutting your hair doesn't make you weak. But what was she saying she did? She cut him off from the connection to the people of his past and the wisdom that they had given him. Now the same man that could defeat armies by himself and could push down the walls of the whole temple by himself, now he became a defeated, weak black man. So it is when a black man is with a white woman. No, you need to find you a black woman, and if you don't want to accept the biblical or the scientific or the historical justification, the least you should be able to say is my mama was a black woman. My auntie was a black woman. My grandmama was a black woman. And I watched them struggle without having a good black man, so I am obligated to find me a woman that looked like my mama, my auntie, my sister, my daughter, my grandmama, and be a good man to her, like I wish my mama had for her. All praise. Y'all still all right? Yeah. Now, that the prospects of selection should not be a white woman for a black man or a white man for a black woman.
Go ahead.
Prospects.
Yes.
Listen.
When it comes to mate selection, we have not been doing too good of a job at it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just being real now. I'm talking about as a nation. I'm not saying you didn't do a good job. I'm saying we.
Yes, sir. Yes.
If we were doing a good job of mate selection, then we would not have, as black people in America, a 75% divorce rate. Black people in America, listen to this, have the highest divorce rate of any group on earth. The people that are living in mud huts stay together better than we do. The people that live in tribes with no running water stay married better than we do. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said the root of our problem. He said white people mate from the neck up, and black people mate from the navel down. In other words, we are looking for the physical, while they are looking for the mental, psychological, spiritual, and they're looking to the future that they can build with who they mate with. Y'all right? Yes, sir. Do you know there's a simple formula on how to find compatibility? The first thing you should do as a woman is make a description of what an ideal man looks like for you. And as a man, make a description of what an ideal woman looks like to you. I'm talking about an ideal woman for you.
That's right.
And if white people mate from the neck up and
That's right.
respectful,
Yes.
then you start getting into all the other stuff. The minister said this. He said, when you make a description of an ideal man or woman for yourself, and you are interested in someone, when you're courting them, courtship. Two words, ship and court. Court meaning what? I'm weighing evidence.
That's right.
Ship meaning something that's going to get me from where I am to where I want to be. I'm weighing evidence to see if you are the one that's going to get me to where I'm trying to go. So I'm weighing the evidence, and the more touchy, feely, the more you lay down and engage in sexual intimacy, the act of sex has a blinding quality to it. Yes. So the minute that you are with somebody that you are thinking about building a relationship with, and you physically get together, immediately your mind goes blind.
Go ahead.
And now you began to be blinded by the good feeling that comes from physical interaction, and you can't see personality, you can't see character anymore. Next thing you know, no red flags are even showing. And you walk down the aisle and say, I do. And after a few weeks of the physical, feely, touchy, you get a little used to it. And next thing you know, the flags pop back out. And you ask yourself, what have I done? Are y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So if you're talking to someone and they meet up to 70% in present person of what you're looking for in an ideal mate, that's... I told her, I said, well, sister, I'm gonna share with you a message that I got from another sister. And it was, I don't understand why all these men are always in my DMs, always trying to mess with me, and they're not interested in really me. They're just interested in doing something with me. I don't understand that. It's disrespectful. I said, yes, ma'am, you're right. So I clicked on her name, and I said, let me see what you posted. I said, oh, wait a minute. All these behind pictures. All these swimsuits. All these half naked. What? Thirst trap. And I told the sister, I said, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I hope you don't take it wrong, but I'm just going to let you know this. Cheap prices attract customers. See, sisters, when you really know your value, you'll come off that clearance rack and get back behind the glass for the real value of stuff. When you really know your value. Come on off that clearance rack and get back behind the glass for the value. and you see that costume jewelry is just laying on top. It easily be picked up. Go to that clearance rack and you see stuff is all different sizes and shapes. People been abusing it. It's got dirt on the hem. It's flipped upside down. Medium hanger, extra large shirt. You know what I'm talking about. All the colors all out of whack. See, when you on the clearance rack, you get mishandled. You get mistreated. You get dirtied up. People will walk on you, step on you, put you in different places. No respect for what's on the clearance rack. But when you go to the jewelry store and you get to that fine jewelry area, where the diamonds cost $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, you will see a sign on top of the glass, and it says, for insurance reasons, we're only allowed to show you one item at a time. Why? Because the stuff that's behind the glass is so valuable. I cannot allow you to misuse or abuse, drop or break or try to take it off. When you get back behind the glass, you won't be one of the women that he's with. You won't be the woman he's with on the weekend. You'll be the only one he's with on the weekdays and the weekend, because he's only looking at one object at a time. Now, I'm going to say this to the brothers. It is written in the gospel of Big Mama.
Come on.
What, y'all? Now, Big Mama got a gospel. There's some stuff Big Mama said that's just as true of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Birds of a feather? That's not in the Bible. That's Big Mama. But is it true? A family that prays together? That's not the Quran. That's Big Mama. Is that right? That's right. She used to tell you, whenever she catch you as a young girl running around a little fast, she'd tell you, why would he buy the cow when he can get the milk for free? Come on now, she knows what she's talking about. See you running around with these bunch of little fast girls, what would she say? Look, let me tell you something, boy, a woman will either make you or break you. Big Mama knew what she was talking about. Did y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to remember my other statement I was going to tell you. I know I don't have it in my notes, but I'll try. What was I talking about?
Big Mama.
Before Big Mama? Oh, no, I got it. Thanks. In chapter 4, verse 8 of the Gospel of Big Mama. The upkeep of too many women has been the downfall for too many men.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all hear that, brothers?
Yes, sir.
So, in mate selection, you don't have to treat women like ice cream or automobiles or clothes and think you got to have one for this and one for that and one for the other. Remember, brothers, the same kind of heart you have. In fact, her heart is bigger than ours.
Go ahead.
Her love is deeper than ours.
Go ahead.
So how can it be okay for you to have a lineup of women that feel different needs and be mad if she even looks at somebody?
All right.
What's good for the goose? Ain't that Big Mama? You know the goose is the female and the gander is the male. What was she trying to say? If it's good for a woman to have one man, it's good for a man to just have one woman.
Go ahead.
Y'all all right? Don't nobody want to clap for this. This is just all right. I messed up a whole lot of stuff today, Messed up a whole lot of stuff. All right, let's to wrap this up. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this one day to the sisters, and it goes for the brothers too. He said, sisters, you did not marry the man of your dreams.
Come on.
The man of your dreams is inside the man you married.
All right.
Get to mining him out. You didn't marry the woman of your dreams. The woman of your dreams is inside the woman that you married. Get to mining her out. I don't know a whole lot about mining, but I do know that one of the key things you must have is you must have a helmet with a light on it.
Yeah, right.
Spiritually, that means that you've got to have some wisdom in your head. I don't know a whole lot about mining, but I know that you have to be very careful how you dig and where you strike whenever you're in the mine, because certain areas are so sensitive, you can hit a spot the wrong way and the whole mine will collapse on you and kill you in the process. So mining is a very sensitive and a delicate operation.
Right.
In fact, they send a canary into the mine first.
That's right.
A soft, gentle bird for them to be able to assess by the use of their sound how hard the walls are and can we even dig here.
All right.
So it is whenever you're trying to get the best out of your mate, you have to operate and dig gently.
Yes.
You have to have it held in one-man women.
All right.
But unfortunately, as a general rule, men have not been one-woman men.
That's right.
So a woman was looking for a man that would be loyal to her.
Go ahead.
Number two, they wanted a man that would listen to them. Now, I'm going to say this, sisters. The Holy Quran says it like this. The male and the female are two twin halves of a single essence.
Yes.
But the male is not like the female, and the female is not like the male. The man, you talk out your problems, but men, we think out our problems.
Right.
So when you see that man sitting in his chair, what? Y'all have a chair? Y'all have a chair? You gotta get a chair. No chair.
That's right.
And I'm talking about that one that you don't even got to say nothing. When you walk in, it's over. You just look and everybody's out. But when that man is sitting in his chair, you can tell something wrong with him and you'll ask him, hey, what's wrong? Oh, hey, everything's all good. It's okay. No, it's not. I'm looking at your face. Please talk to me. I'm okay. I don't want to talk. It's fine. I'm working. It's going to be all right. Everything's good. You all never want to know. No, don't do that. Now he got the problem, and now you the problem. He got problems squared now. Not only he got to work out the problem in his mind, but now he got to work out talking to you about the problem he don't want to talk to you about. See, it's something in the pride of a man. They want to be able to know that I am the protector of my wife and my children, which means I bear the load of my psychological burdens of life. I don't want to talk to nobody about it but God and myself. And let me sit here and work this thing out, come up with a solution and solve the problem and dig myself out of this rut. But if a man got to talk to his woman about everything he's going through and she has to help him out of it, he loses some of his own self-worth in the process. So you think it through, but women talk it through.
Okay.
So you got to learn how to listen. And when I say listen, I'm talking about pay attention. What? Because see, the wife is right here talking, we right here listening, and this is the man. You don't agree with everything like that. Stop. You just gonna shake your head like a pop. Go ahead. And all you're doing is waiting for her to stop so you can say what you want to say. And what I was going to say is, you're not listening. See, listening is the art of trying on the shoes of the person speaking and hearing them like you are using their mind, ears, and feet.
Right.
You all right? Yes, sir. Women talk it out. Men think it through. So you have to have the science and the art and be a good listener. Y'all okay? Yes, sir. What else was they looking for? They were looking for a man that would labor for her. Sisters, I'm throwing alley-oops now. Y'all slipping. I'm trying to help you out now. Come on. Okay, watch the brothers. The brothers is getting ready to come. All right, I got one. See, the last thing that a black man wants to come home to after fighting in this world is to have to go round two with his own woman. That was true. I thought they was going to do better than that. Let me show you how to do it. Watch this. And the last thing that a black woman wants to come home to after fighting in this world is to find her man that ain't been fighting at all. I set it up, folks. I set it up. Y'all had a chance, man. I set it up. Sisters, back me up if I'm telling the truth. a man does not have to make more money than his woman to be respected.
That's right.
As long as that man works harder than that woman, he will always honor and respect you. So a hard-working man is attractive to a woman. Later. Next thing they said, guess what it was? Laughter.
Yes.
See, black man, a sense of humor is a sign of security.
Yes.
If you don't have a sense of humor, that's a sign that you're not secure as a man. The reason that a woman wants a man that makes her laugh or has a sense of humor is because she needs to know that the man that's considered the head of her household is so strong that even when the vicissitudes of life approach him, he still can smile and laugh and go through it. But when you show her in the midst of opposition, now I'm going to say this, you can't just crack jokes at any time. Some stuff got to be done at the right time. You come home in the wintertime and you see your children and wife in the dark with coats on inside the house. You know the lights are off and the heat don't work because the lights is off. That's not a time to come in and ask why the chicken cross the road. Don't want to come home and make no why the chicken cross the road because he probably would have crossed there because the heat works over there. They got lights over there. But a sense of humor is a sense of security.
Yes. Right.
She wanted a man that could make her laugh.
Yes.
Then, what else did she want? She wanted a man that would love her. Now, listen to what I'm saying, brothers. Not love her like you love yourself, but love as you love yourself. I'm just going to reveal some secrets. I'm going to just tell you. I wish y'all could hear this. Because he's going to try this out today that y'all going to already know. There's three things that you can say that will automatically ease the mind and deepen the love of your woman for you. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Number one, I love you. Number two, I miss you.
Yes, sir.
Number three, you are so beautiful.
Yes.
Try it out and see if I'm telling the truth. Am I telling the truth, sister? Go ahead. Bear with us now. Again, you got to use it at the right time. We was in Miami, and I said the same thing. And I heard a husband and wife in the hallway arguing with one another, not aggressively, just going back and forth with one another, disagreeing. And the brother said, baby, hold on. I love you, I miss you, and you're so beautiful. Did you hear me? I said, I love you, I miss you, and you're so beautiful. See, you got to say it in the right spirit, at the right time, for the right reason. And you don't want to put a combination package together. You got to say it whenever you want to say it. Compliment her. She's working hard to be beautiful for you. Show her that you notice.
Yes.
And vice versa. Show your man that you appreciate it.
Yes.
You know, you've been going to the gym, lifting all them weights, running all them miles, eating all that celery, trying to get in shape. And you really can't see much progress, but if you can see any progress, let it go. Oh, baby, I see you. You trimming down. Looks like you lost about 15 or 20 ounces. No, don't say that. Don't say that. Last thing, they didn't find this in the study, but I learned it from the minister. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this: an ignorant man can never be a good husband. So you just don't want to be a man that labors and loves and listens and is loyal and all that, and not be a learned man. You've got to have some wisdom. When she bounces an idea off of you, you're supposed to be so intelligent with revelation and the empirical knowledge of the world that you can give her back her idea better than she gave it to you and make her believe more in her idea than she believed in herself. That's the way a real man is. When she presents a problem, you're supposed to be able to offer wisdom as a solution.
Go ahead.
So learned man. Y'all got that? Yes, sir. Well, what about the brothers?
All right now.
Love. And what was the verb? And woman, wife, you should what? Respect. And convert it into an acronym to make the point. You know what an acronym is, right? You know what an acronym is when you have a word and every letter in the word represents another word. Like CIA is an acronym. It stands for the Cocaine Import Agency. FBI, finding a black man to incarcerate. Media, most effective devil in America. NAACP, Negroes always asking Caucasians permission. That's what it has been now, but it's being now. It shouldn't be like that. But it's being like that. Respect. The R in respect stands for respect itself.
Yes.
As a woman, the language of a man is honor. I'm trying to keep it clean. But I'll say it like this. When a woman takes your man from you, it's not because she's smarter, prettier, cooks better, or has done more for him than you do. Most of the time, a woman takes a man from another woman by praising and honoring that man more than the woman that he's with.
Yes.
And the ego begins to be fed. And you'll find in counsel sessions when two break up and the man cheated, you'll find, why would you leave? She gave you 5 children. You've been married for 25 years. And listen to the answer. This is a real story. The brother said to me, he said, there's no excuse for it. I shouldn't have done it. He said, but here's my wife, that I give her everything and she gives me nothing. And here's a woman that I've done nothing for that treats me like I've given her everything. So respect. Now I ain't saying it's justified, I'm just telling you that's what happened. What? Let me tell you what happened. Now it's not justified, but that's what happened. See, your vows is not to your woman. If you want to use the defect of a man to justify not being loyal to him, or the defect of a woman to justify not being loyal to her, you always going to be set up for disloyalty. But your vow is to God himself.
That's right.
She's going to let you down, and so is he. But God himself, will never let you down.
That's right.
So if I said that I am willing to be faithful, sincere, and devoted through richer or poor, better or worse, in sickness and in health, to death do us part, I said that to God. I don't require you to be a perfect wife for me to keep my word, because I got a perfect God I gave my word to. Does that make sense? Respect that man. Show honor to that man. Praise that man. Acknowledge the good you see from him, even though he's been consistently doing it for many years.
Yes.
Show appreciation. Y'all got
Yes,
it?
sir.
The E stands for esteem. To esteem. You know there's a difference between self-worth and self-esteem.
Yes.
Your children don't need self-esteem, they really need self-worth.
Yes.
See, self-esteem is what you think about yourself based off of how other people see you. But self-worth is what you think about yourself based off of what God said about you and what you see in your mirror. Self-worth trumps self-esteem at any time. So to esteem a man means not only do you honor the man, but you praise and you compliment and brag about him in front of people he respects.
All right.
Y'all hearing this?
Yes, sir.
So when you all are around people that you know he respects, brag about how good of a man he is. It'll go a long way with that man. Brother, I'm expecting y'all to go ahead. Y'all gonna miss out. Y'all gonna miss out. Then there is what? An S. Well, the S means a whole lot of stuff. But I'm just going to put the first S out there and just say smile.
All right. Go ahead.
See, do you know this? Listen to me, brothers. The greatness and the goodness of a man is heavily measured by the size of the smile of the woman has with his face. How good and how great am I? How do I know? I got to look at the smile on my wife's face. And even though you don't know that by words from somebody's mouth until I said it today, you know it in your nature. So whenever you have, as you his wife, if he sees you smiling, smile means you're happy, smile means you're secure, smile means you're at peace. That means that he can say, I'm doing something right.
Yes.
So you feed the man's pride and self-worth by just smiling. The S also stands for bless his sight.
All right. Go ahead.
Did y'all hear me? You got to stay looking good. See, whenever you was getting to know him, y'all would be on the phone and you would be looking in the mirror. You fixing yourself up and he can't even see you. Think about it. When it's time to go down to get married, you ate 2 bites of an apple and 3 Ritz crackers for 4 months. To make sure you was white for that. Huh? Come on now. Soon as you get married, now you want to know, are you going to eat all that? Let me have it here. It's not good. Hey, security. It's not good, sisters, for you to be bedazzled up for the world, but walking around in a bonnet and recompose at the house.
Go ahead.
Now, I'm not telling you that you should get all made up and put on a wedding gown. Can I tell you a secret, sister? Watch this. Watch this. Tell me. Men don't even like makeup. Right. You don't need it. I'm not saying put on no gown. All you can be cute and comfortable.
Yes.
Y'all with me? So I'm saying that to say, bless his sight.
Yes.
With a beautiful appearance of you, and try to keep yourself in the same shape that you were in whenever you found that man. For whatever you do to get something, you have to do to keep it.
Yes.
Y'all all right? It also stands for sensual touch. Men are more physical than women are. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I ain't going to go too much further than that. I'm not going to go no farther. I'm just going to leave it like that. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Then the next letter is another P, right?
Yes.
Show and express to him how proud you are of what he's doing, and proud you are of the kind of father he is. Proud you are of the kind of husband you have.
Yes.
Proud you are for the goals that he set. Proud you are for the things he's accomplished. You got to show. You see how all of it is designed to feed and speak life into that man to make him feel powerful?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Then the next one is another what? E. Right. That stands for eat. What does he eat?
All right.
See, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that a woman should not just be a cook or even a chef. He said you should be a food scientist.
Yes.
See, a woman has to study the man and what is the function that he has in the world to take care of his family. How much carbohydrates, protein, amino acids, what are the proper nutrients that he needs to perform his job successfully, that he can go out there and do it well to bring home the bread to our family.
Yes.
So once you study that, you go into the laboratory and you began to put the appropriate amount of vegetables and fruit and wheat bread and navy beans and the right amount of protein mix. And you got a perfect recipe on Wednesday that will give him the raw material he'll need to wake up Thursday to go out and conquer the world for you and your family. That's a food science. And I'm going to tell you this. The number one ingredient you should put in the pot is not the water, it's not the bean, it's not the garlic, the onion, or the cumin, it's not the seasoning, it is love. Put love into that black man's food. And watch that man go out and conquer the world for you. Next one is what? See? Show compassion to this man.
Yes.
Sisters, men are more sensitive than they act like they are.
Yes, they are.
Y'all already knew that. See, woman, you have a whole different threshold of pain because you bringing children into the world. So once you did that, hurt don't hurt like hurt. But we ain't never did it. Black man just bumped his elbow. Baby! What took you so long? Did you hear me holler your name? I can't move. What happened? I hit my funny bone. Hell no! We're more sensitive than what we lead on to be. So show compassion to that man. Be gentle with him. Y'all with me? Yes. I'm going to tell you the secret, sisters, and brothers can bear me witness. Men don't like women that yell at them.
Come on.
Men don't like women that cuss at them.
Yes.
The nature of the female is to speak a gentle and a kind, soft word. There's a way you can get your message over with skill and wisdom without having to come out of your feminine character. Try it out. Be compassionate. Last but not least, I got more time. Can I get 2 minutes? Last but not least is T. Train your children to love their father. Train your children to love their father. See, children don't spell love L-O-V-E, brothers. Children spell love T-I-M-E.
That's right. Yes, sir.
But if you are in this work, the amount of T-I-M-E you have to put in to making money to even provide the necessities will rob you of the energy and time you need to be that kind of cuddly father that you might want to be. So sisters, when you know that man has to exchange the time he'd love to spend with you all to be in the field trying to make a living to take care of you all, you got to tell your children that daddy ain't here all the time, but that couch is love. That table is love. Daddy ain't here all the time. He don't come in all your games, but let me show you something. Open that refrigerator up. Show them all that food. That's love. The heat is love. And whenever you train that child to love their father, let me tell you something, black man. If you come home from work and you've been listening, laboring, you've been loyal, you've been loving, you've been making her laugh, and you are learning, black man, when you walk in that door, when them keys start jingling, you'll have your babies run and grab your legs because they've been trained to love you. You'll have a daughter on one leg, a son on the shoulder. They'll be talking about how much they miss their daddy. And then you'll smell that good bean soup and that cold wheat bread cooking in the background. Next thing you know, here come your queen. She stepped out there cute.